The smoke curled into the orange evening sky like a warning no one else seemed to notice. Most drivers sped past the narrowing country road without looking twice, eager to beat the falling darkness home. But one man slowed down. One man felt that strange pull in his chest, the instinct that something wasn't right. Jack Morrison gripped the steering wheel of his battered pickup truck, his grease-stained fingers tightening as he leaned forward. The black smoke rising from beyond the bend was thick, angry, alive. He pressed the gas pedal. 30 seconds later, the flickering flames came into view, eating through the hood of an SUV wrapped around a roadside tree. The sound that stopped his heart wasn't the crackling fire, it was children screaming. 3 lives were already on the edge of disappearing, and Jack had no training, no protective gear, no guarantee he wouldn't be next. Only choice. To drive away and call it someone else's problem. Or to run toward the fire. He didn't hesitate. Because sometimes the difference between tragedy and a miracle doesn't come from heroes in uniforms, sometimes it comes from a tired mechanic in a flannel shirt with grease on his hands, who decides to act when the world needs him most. The summer sun was sinking toward the horizon when Jack Morrison spotted the smoke rising into the quiet sky. He was heading home after closing the garage for the night, muscles aching from crawling under transmissions all day. At 42, his body reminded him of every long year spent bent over engines, but Jack never complained. Millbrook's vehicles depended on him. Teachers, delivery drivers, single parents, if their cars quit, their lives stalled. The old pickup rattled over a curve in the harvest road, cornfields stretching endlessly on both sides. Jack rolled his window down, letting the warm wind slide across his weathered face. That's when he noticed it, smoke, thick and black, not dust. Not a brush burn, fire. His instincts tightened. Jack floored the accelerator, rounding the curve. He saw the wreck. An SUV had slammed into the massive oak tree lining the roadside. Its hood was crushed inward like a folded tin can, flames licking through the engine compartment. Smoke poured violently into the sky, and then, screaming. High-pitched. Panicked, children, Jack slammed the brakes, yanked the truck onto the shoulder, and jumped out, grabbing the fire extinguisher he always kept behind the seat. Please, please help. The voice tore through the smoke, through the shattered driver's window. Jack saw the woman at the wheel, her blonde hair hanging loosely over her face, unconscious, chest barely rising. In the back seat, 2 toddlers, twin girls, tears tracked soot down their faces as they shook against their car seats. Jack's heart raced painfully inside his chest. It's okay, he shouted while running to the vehicle. I've got you. You're safe. He tugged at the driver's door, jammed, circled to the passenger side, blocked by the tree. Only the back window remained. Without hesitation, he smashed it with the base of the extinguisher, glass exploding outward as the smoke overwhelmed him. He coughed, blinking through burning eyes as flames crackled nearer. The girls sobbed louder. Jack reached inside, fumbling with the first buckle, a different design than he knew. His breath grew short as heat pressed against his skin. Finally, click. He freed the first child, lifting her into open air and placing her behind the SUV. Don't move, sweetheart, he instructed gently, then he dove back inside. Smoke swallowed everything. He could barely see the second twin, only feel for her straps. His hands shook as flames climbed inches from the seat's plastic edges. Click. He pulled her loose, but as he turned, the SUV shifted, metal groaned, his foot slipped. Jack slammed into the interior door, pain firing through his shoulder as he cradled the child against his chest. The girl screamed. With a roar of effort, Jack dragged himself backward through the window, landing hard against gravel but keeping the child safe. Both twins were now together, but the mother remained trapped. Jack didn't think. He ran straight back into the heat. With every ounce of strength left in his battered body, he ripped the driver's door open. Flames licked his arms as he reached for the seatbelt, slicing it loose with shaking fingers. He dragged the woman free, and the vehicle exploded. The blast sent Jack sprawling forward, his body covering the unconscious woman as fire burst skyward like a violent breath. Debris clattered onto the pavement, screaming faded to stunned silence. Jack lay gasping, ears ringing, when he lifted his head. The twins were sitting safely on the grass, alive, the mother, breathing. Jack let out a ragged laugh of relief. Before the pain in his shoulder crashed back into focus, within minutes, sirens filled the air, paramedics rushed in, police cars stopped traffic, bystanders stared at the wreckage. Jack knelt beside the girls. "You're okay," he whispered. "You're safe now." One twin reached for his burned hand. "Thank you." Those two words hit harder than the fire ever had. The next morning, Jack awoke to the thunder of helicopter blades. .3 aircraft descended toward his farmhouse, flattening the tall grass beneath them. As he stumbled outside, bandaged hands, aching shoulder, he was stunned to see suited men, doctors, security teams, and camera crews spilling out, and walking directly toward him. Harrison Richardson. The billionaire tech mogul whose face dominated the business world. The man wrapped Jack in a careful embrace. "You saved my wife," Harrison said, voice thick. "You saved my daughters." Amanda Richardson, the accident victim, was Harrison's wife. Charlotte and Harper, his twins. "I just helped," Jack replied quietly. "No," Harrison shook his head. "You ran toward fire." From that day forward, Jack's life changed forever. Doctors gave his shoulder proper treatment. The media labeled him America's mechanic hero. But the attention meant nothing to Jack compared to standing in the hospital room a day later as the girls hugged his legs, alive and giggling. Amanda gripped his bandaged hands. "You gave me back my babies," she whispered in tears. "I'll never forget that." Harrison invested into Jack's garage, not as charity, but partnership. New tools. Expanded bays. Apprenticeships. Jack's business flourished, but something deeper grew alongside it. The Richardsons became family. Weekends were spent on Jack's farm, Charlotte sketching chickens while Harper sang songs to the dogs. Evening dinners filled the once quiet farmhouse with laughter. Jack taught the girls about engines and farming, and life. "Hard work matters," he'd say. "But kindness matters more." Every year, on the accident anniversary, they gathered at sunset. No cameras, just gratitude. Millbrook still told stories of the mechanic who saved a family from fire. Children grew up hearing about Jack Morrison in classrooms. Charlotte became an art student who specialized in drawing ordinary heroes. Harper sang on local stages, often dedicating songs to the man who taught me courage. Jack never accepted the title of hero. "I was just there," he'd say, but deep down, he knew something else. That moment on the burning road didn't just save 3 lives. It saved his own. From loneliness he found family again, purpose again, love again, and every evening, driving that same stretch of country road, Jack smiled toward the sky, grateful he had chosen the right road that day. Because heroics aren't about being fearless, they're about stepping forward, even when you are afraid.